Docker private registry. What is this registry first? Remember, registry by itself is a stateless, highly scalable server-side application. And this application has ability to store lots of images. And every image is categorized as a repository. Of course, the primary image will be there, and then for everything we can have tags with versions, operating system information. So a registry, I can say, is a collection of repositories, and each repository has images. There can be minimum one image and there can be multiple images. There are many circumstances where I do not want to use the public registry which is available and managed by Docker, that is hub.docker.com. Though the Docker Hub provides a lot of built-in features, it's a ready-to-go solution and it is also free. We may not want to put it in the public arena, all my images. So in these kind of cases, we will have to go for the private registry. So when do you use private registry? If you want to tightly control your images which are being stored, you want complete control where the images are stored, yes, you should go for private registry. You want to fully own the images distribution pipeline, how the images are going to be distributed. Only limited people should be able to access it, not everybody should be able to access it. Such kind of cases, integrate image storage and distribution tightly into your in-house development workflow. So all this control, if you want, basically in short, you want a customized and secured control over your images, and you cannot afford to put it on internet in Docker Hub, then you should go for private registry. For private registry, there are two options. One is a commercial product available, that is Docker Trusted Registry. You can always buy that and install it in your on-premise in one of the machines, one of the physical machines. You can install it within your on-premise and use that. Alternatively, there is a free version available and that works only on Ubuntu. So we need a Linux version of the machine so that I can demonstrate this particular feature. So first I would like to create a Linux machine. Rather than using it on the local machine, local desktop, I'm creating a virtual machine in Azure Cloud. If you have an Azure account, you can also do this. Go to VM. Create a new VM. We want to use a Ubuntu server and 16.04 LTS is the best option. Click on create. Provide all the basic information required. Let's say DSS private registry VM, some password, all basic default options otherwise. Let's choose whatever is given as the preferred. Recommended size I have taken. I may not be interested in changing all these, whatever is there. Yeah, I would need to create a network security group when I need to open a port on which the Docker registry is going to execute. So I'll change this to advanced. And here I would like to provide access to let's say port number 5000. Okay. You can just leave the rest as default. Disabled. I don't want diagnostic log. Click on OK. Review the summary and finally click on create. That's going to create a Linux host, a Linux virtual machine. Yes, after waiting for a while, we got the virtual machine created. Go to resource and we would like to connect to that virtual machine now. So copy this value, SSH command, go to the command prompt and mention the password. And we are in. Now the first thing we'll have to do is install Docker. Docker doesn't work by default. We will have to install Docker on this. So for that use sudo apt install docker.io. That's it. Sudo apt install docker.io. Do you want to continue? Yes. And it's going to take a while for installing Docker locally. By default, it is installing Docker 17.01, which is little older version. But that is fine, which is good enough for registry. And that's it. You see, Docker version already got me this. Got permission denied while trying to connect to the Docker daemon. Yeah, for Docker daemon, you'll have to type sudo Docker version. So we got both. Now sudo docker run -p. I will map 5000 to the 5000 port number of some container name I'm giving registry, and the image itself is registry :2. Unable to find the image registry 2. So the private registry image is registry and version 2. Download. So my registry is running now, up and running. Now once the registry is running, I already know the IP address of this machine. I can now use this registry for installation of for pushing of my images. So for this, I go to a new command prompt. I already have the images, but these are not mapped to the IP of this particular machine. They are mapped to Sandeep Soni. Let's say this one or this one. These are mapped to Sandeep Soni, and Sandeep Soni store is not there right now. So first thing we will do is we will create a tag. Docker images tag hello web app. And what should we tag to? We have to tag to the IP address of the virtual machine. So figure out the IP address of the virtual machine. It is this. Colon at what port number the registry is running. That also we will have to give. And then we should give hello web app. So what was earlier Sandeep Soni is now replaced with so and so. Now press enter. Or it should be Docker image. Likewise, I should also do EMP web API, EMP web API. And look at Docker images now. And you'll notice that we have got Sandeep Soni and this. Both are having same ID. The image ID is same. So they are actually same images. Just that because I want to push it into different Docker registry, I have given aliases to them. So how to push it? Push the IP colon 5000 slash EMP web API Docker push. And there is some issue here. The reason is it is not able to push because the Docker command locally does not trust that registry. So what we will have to do now is in Notepad we will have to open C colon program data docker config daemon.json, and in daemon.json we will have to actually enter in insecure registries the IP address and the port number at which our registry is present. This we will have to do it. So this value I'll put it here. You may not have this entry at all. You will have to create this. A new entry should be created by you. New key value pair has to be added here. And save this. Now execute the same command once again. Yeah, you will have to probably restart the Docker. Just a restart. Because we have made changes to the daemon.json file, and that is going to be loaded only when the Docker command is executed. Now it is running. So Docker push, and you see it's working. So this is the procedure for preparing our own registry. Right now I have used virtual machine on internet in a Azure cloud, but you can always have a physical machine within your on-premise, and in that put the Docker registry where all the repositories of your organization can be stored. So this is a very free and basic version. A detailed version of it, a commercial version of it is also there. As I told you earlier, it is Docker trusted registry, which you have to probably purchase it. So that's all in how to make use of the private registry. Thank you.